Hi Stampers, this is Trevis. Welcome to Video Friday. And so today for our YouTube, we're going to make a matchbook card. And I'm going to be using a bundle that has kind of been lost since we lost the designer series paper that coordinated with it last year. And so Playing in the Rain is the stamp set I'm going to be using today. And then I'm going to be using the dies also. And as I said, that paper, I think it was called Rain or Shine paper, was in last year's catalog and it retired. So a lot of people were like, that was my favorite paper to go with that bundle. But there's other designer series paper that's just as cute. And so if you have the stamp set and you have the bundle, you can make your own. So let's do that today. And so we are going to do a matchbook fun fold. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so I hope you were with me before a few weeks ago when we did our In It to Win It promotion. We're still doing that. Any $50 order gets a number, and then we are going to have a drawing. So our winner last time won a mini cut and emboss, and it won't be the same gift every time. It'll be different, but just wanted to give you a heads up that if you place a $50 or bigger order with me, you get to pick a number. Okay, so the designer series paper I'm going to be using today is called Delightfully Eclectic. It's that big pack of paper, that 12 by 12 giant pack of paper. I chose this one. Okay, so these were the pieces of designer series paper that I cut in advance. I know that side is so cute too. Okay, so I am going to give you the measurements of this. 4 1/4 by 2, 4 1/4 by 1, and 4 1/4 by 2 1/2. So if you want to cut your designer series paper for this card, that's what you need. You also need your card base. I'm using white, basic white, and this is 4 1/4 by 11. I'm going to score this twice, and then I'm going to use a stapler. Okay, if you have your tiny attacher, little Stampin' Up stapler that we used to carry, you can use that. You can use any stapler. You can even use adhesive, but it doesn't hold as well. So I'm going to use my stapler today. I'm going to use a couple punches. I'm actually going to use one punch in a different way. And then I'm going to use some, what else? I'm going to use these two. I'm going to use Playing in the Rain, and then the Playing in the Rain dies. So let's get started. First thing we need to do is score our cardstock. So this is our white cardstock, and so get your trimmer out or your scoring tool, and we're going to score this twice. The first time we're going to score it at 1 inch lengthwise. Okay, so 1 inch, and then 6 1/2 inches. That's why I have this out. Okay, so that it's long enough. 6 1/2 inches. Okay, and that's all you need to do to score for your matchbook card base. Okay, so now we're going to fold on those score lines. People always ask me which way to fold. I don't really think it matters, but always fold away from the score. Okay, so there is our card base. And this is going to tuck a little bit, just barely. Very little, very little. Should have maybe done it a little more, but I think it'll hold. Okay, and so let's adhere our designer series paper to this now. So first I'm going to adhere this one to the bottom. Right here. Okay, and then I'm going to adhere this one at the top. And then this one right here. Okay. So we have a little extra at the bottom, which is good. That'll give it enough to tuck. Okay. So there is our start of our card. Now we need to dress it up and make it cute. And so the first thing I'm going to do is do a little stamping. I'm going to stamp the bunny. Okay, he is so cute. I'm so happy that the die does not cut out the water. Okay, it only cuts out the bunny. And I'm excited about that because in this card, I don't want it I don't want the water. I mean, I could always cut it off, right? If the die did cut that out, but I don't really want that on there. Okay, so we have that done. And then I'm going to color that in, but I'm going to also stamp the, there's two greetings in here. One says, rainy days are better with you, and the other says, oh, happy day. So I think the oh, happy day is actually more suitable for my card. So I'm going to use Pretty Peacock because that coordinates with this designer series paper. Okay, so I'm going to stamp oh, happy day. All right. And then I am going to punch that out. And believe it or not, I'm going to use the vintage bottle punch. I know you're thinking, what? So I'm going to punch this out. And then I am going to trim it. Trim off the bottle part. I'm just going to take this and I'm going to edge it up like this. And trim off that part. Okay, so that made a cute little greeting sentiment. I needed a smaller sentiment area, and I thought that was perfect. Okay, I also am going to use a punch, the 1 3/4 circle punch, and I'm going to punch one of these out of Pretty Peacock cardstock, and I'm going to adhere these together. Okay, I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back, get this ready for my card. Okay, so I have that ready. Now I'm going to color in my bunny. And before I color him in, I'm just going to cut him out. Okay, so I use the die ahead of time. Oh, look, that's some extra stamping. I am going to cut him out. All right, and now I'm just going to color him. And I'm going to use my blend markers. I'm actually going to use Bubble Bath and Pretty Peacock. And so I'm just going to put a little bit of Bubble Bath on him, not a whole lot. I'm just going to do his ears, just right up here on the tips, his nose, his toes, and his cheek. Okay, that's done. And then I'm going to color in his jacket, and I'm going to use my dark Pretty Peacock. So I'm going to add some color right here. Okay, just on the edges. I'll let that sit for a few seconds. I'll let that alcohol evaporate. That's a good idea to do that. And then I'm going to come back with my light Pretty Peacock blend, and I'm going to blend this over into the, from the dark to the light. And you can do light to dark if you like. A lot of times I will do light, dark, light and blend it that way. But today I'm just doing dark and then light. And then you can see how it really kind of, just those dark areas really blended into the light. We can see that. All right. All right. And so we have that done. Now there is another die in the set, and it is the little fence. And so I cut one of those out also, just out of white cardstock. Cut one of those out in advance. And I do want to just add a little bit of smoky slate to that. I'm not going to add a lot, just a little bit to accent it. And I'm going to use my blending brush. And I'm just going to blend a little bit of color onto it. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. kind of mostly at the bottom. Okay. And I don't wash my brushes. I just do it like that. And the color comes off. I'm good to go. Okay, I think we're ready to adhere this to our card. And the first thing I want to do is add some ribbon. I do want to add a little bit of ribbon first. So we have the sheer ribbon combo, and you actually get 3 colors in here. You get 5 yards of each. And so this is Lemon Lolly, Bubble Bath, and this one is Azure Afternoon. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Bubble Bath. And I'm just going to wrap it around. It's so pretty, and it's so easy to work with. It's very thin, flexible. It has a little bit of silver trim on the edges. So cute. So I'm just going to wrap this around. I usually don't cut it until I have it done. But if you want, you can cut a piece. But sometimes I find that wastes the ribbon because you end up trimming until, you know, you've wasted an inch. We don't want to waste our ribbon, right? Okay, nice and tight. See, no waste. Okay, and you can still move it. So you can just bend your card a little bit and give it a little move, right? You don't even have to use any. Some people put, you know, glue dots underneath. I usually don't. I mean, if I want to, I can put one right here, but I don't think I'm going to need it. All right, so now let's adhere this to our card. So the first thing I want to do is I want to put the little bunny on here, and I want to have the fence kind of come up like that. I want to have him jumping like over the fence. So I want to position this correctly. I'm going to use my liquid glue. I'm going to put just little tiny dots of liquid glue on here. Ooh, I don't want to put too much at the top because that's going to hang over. Hope I didn't. In fact, I'm not going to put any at the top except for that one that I already did. Let's see how that works. I might have to take that off. There we go. Okay, I'm going to flip this over. And I'm going to attach this right here in the center of my little flap. Hold it for a second. Sometimes I'll use this to hold it down so I don't get glue on my fingers. I love my silicone craft sheet. They're so reasonable too. I think they're like $6. Everybody should have one. Okay, so we have that done. Now I'm going to adhere my bunny. I'm just going to use my adhesive on this. And you will get the bleeding through, okay, on the back, and that's totally normal and totally good, actually. Okay, so I'm going to have my little bunny right here. And then I'm going to put my Oh Happy Day at the top, right here on this striped cardstock, or DSP. Oh Happy Day popped up. And now I'm going to use my tiny attacher. And I'm just going to use my, you can call it whatever you want if you have a stapler. Okay, so this is going to tuck in like that. Isn't that so cute? And then I'm going to add a few little sequins. The ones I chose today is the Adhesive Back Sequins Trio. And so the 3 colors are Berry Burst, Pretty Peacock, and White. These actually don't look like Berry Burst to me. I think they're almost like Bubble Bath. But I'm not going to use those anyway. I'm using Pretty Peacock. And so I'm going to use 3 of these. I think that's perfect. And I think our card is complete. And there it is. So if you want to, you know, you could put Happy Birthday inside. Oh Happy Day covers a lot of different occasions. Oh Happy Day can be a birthday, it can be graduation, it can be a new baby, it can be anything. So as long as it's a happy day. So there is our card today. I hope you enjoyed it. And that is called a Matchbook card. Fun fold. I will be back with you on Tuesday for another video. And keep stamping. My name's Trevis Bossler, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in St. Louis, Missouri. Thank you so much for watching today. Bye-bye.